the kid that we got from Texas in the slot that's killing everybody. That's Jimmy Horn. That's LeJounte.
But that don't make no sense because not only was he the best receiver in Texas, guys, he won the Max Preps Player of the Year. Like, Colorado was known for having an elite and dynamic wide receiver room in 2024, and it looks like Coach Prime is looking to double down on that notion because this group of wide receivers newly brought in, as well as some young guys looking to move into more prominent spots, I'm telling you, there's some workhorses. I think it's going to be one of the most dynamic and not the most elite wide receiver room in all of the Big 12. So they were putting in some work over the spring break. We're going to check in on that, watch a little film on them, people like Joseph Williams, Quinton Gibson, as well as a name that's pretty familiar to you, Mr. Drelon Miller. So check those things. But first things first, we're going to start Deion Sanders' comments on the general new pieces that he added to the wide receiver room. So let's hop.
Now he's good. I mean, you bring a big dog in there like that. He got the outside guys as well as the inside. Petco's doing his thing. Gerard is doing his thing with Big George and Gunner. It's a beautiful thing. The receivers, they're fighting, they're feisty.
So that was just his initial thoughts of it. And then let's go deeper to actually Mr. Colton Hood, and he's going to speak about what he sees from some of the younger receivers, I believe, namely Drelon Miller. Sorry, I got to go back and make sure I got my time since right. 35-26. Let's hear what the man has to say about some of the younger players and how they're coming along as well.
DJ Leo Rivera with Scobo Sports. What has the competition been like at these early stages of practice, and what have you seen from some of the young players who are now joining the team?
Man, it's been competitive every day, you know. You look over here, you got Quinton Gibson making a play. You look over here, on the opposite side of the ball, you got Antonio making a play on the ball. Like, it's just exciting to see younger players because I remember when I was in that position, and it's just, you know, looking back at it, it's like, man, time flies, so you just got to take advantage of every opportunity. But it's been real competitive, real competitive.
So shout out to the now vet. I believe this is Colton Hood. I don't want to get it mixed up. Y'all correct me in the comments, but I believe this is Colton Hood. The last time I checked for this, but regardless, somebody who has been a part of the Colorado regime for the whole tenure of Deion Sanders and Coach Prime's situation here. So I think that's great to see him immediately remarking on somebody like Quinton Gibson, who is a straight up rookie and rookie, freshman, whatever you want to call it. And I think something that's standing out to me is that these guys are putting in work. This is not some old video. This is not some whatever. This was posted March 26th while they're on spring break, mind y'all. While everybody off, and you know, probably some of the older guys out there doing a Miami thing or wherever they do, you know what I'm saying, going crazy in Florida, going here, going there. Young man, true freshman, he said, I'm trying to get some of that playing time, dog. So he's putting in real deal work, and a lot of people were like, turn their heads. They're like, whoa, what's going on? And I think the best part, and you know, here it is. You know, people was like, wait a minute, this dude ain't just, he not just working, he not just running routes. Oh, he getting bigger too. Oh, it's getting serious. And y'all know what Quentin Gibson does. Y'all know what it does. Y'all know what the speed demon does. Y'all know what the 4-star should have been 5-star. Announced as the #1 national player by Max Preps. Everybody agrees, or at least he does, that he's the #1 wide receiver in Texas. And there's some pretty good wide receivers out there in Texas. A speed demon who even terrorizes people out in all-star games, making defenders look silly. I mean, that's just what he does. That's how he does it. And that is just the true freshman, ladies and gentlemen. How about the transfer, Mr. Joseph Williams? What was Joseph Williams, the second year player, what was he up to? I don't know. How about working with the same coach?
Come on, right, left, right. Come on. Let it go right here. Come on. Good, come on. Finish. Good, cut. Good, Jack. Good, come on, Zach. Come on, cut. Come on, Zach. Good, there it is. Finish. 1, 2, good. Jack. Swing. Good. Good, come on. Good. There it is right there. Finish. Jack. Come on, 1, 2. Good, there it is right there. Good. Good, come on. There it goes right there. Good, come on. Let it go. Good, there it is right there. Finish. Finish. Come on. Good. Good, come on, Jack. Come on, there it goes. Let it go. Good, there it is right there. Come on. Good, come on, right, left, right. Good, there it is right there. Good, Joe. High point. Oh, yeah.
But you know, it's interesting because Joseph Williams, who by all accounts was a standout out there in Tulsa, you know, transferred in. He's been known as a guy who's really gonna add some dynamicism some more dynamic, some more length, some more GURP, some more. What am I talking about? He adds another element, especially as somebody who has experience in a different conference, in a different way, in a different scheme, right? So to see him be able to do what it is, he looks a little, looks a little stiff in the hips. But I'm telling you, look, this is him. By the way, this is that dude that did that crazy catch to Julian Lewis's back foot throw, contested all day, every day. That's number 8. So like, it ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. He gonna be all right. But I think it's interesting that he does look stiff, and he's like, oh, how about I put some work in? How about I take myself to that another level, because he don't look stiff here. I don't know. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm just sitting in a chair, yelling at a mic. I think he's a little more smoother than me, but I'm just saying, like, hey, okay, there's clearly something that he can improve on, right? But catching the ball, high pointing the ball. And this is just it been like this since high school, by the way. It worked so well. This is just, you know what I'm saying? To go back. You know what I'm saying? Up there. I mean, that's what he does. That is the mark of him. He is I believe 6'1", a type of guy. Reminds me Devontae Smith-ish when we talk about the way that he wants to play the game, right? A guy who plays bigger than his pads, right? And that's what I mean by adding a bit of dynamicisms. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that, but you're adding some diversity. Diversity in a great way when it comes to the different types of wide receivers. They got some more film. We're going to take a peek, but I don't want to speed past everything. First, I want to talk about somebody, right, who everybody already knows of. Actually, 2 players who, these are not transfers. These are 2 players that aren't new, right? These are a true freshman, Drelon Miller, and then you've got, I believe, true sophomore in Isaiah Harge. Now, Isaiah Harge, obviously, he was updated. He was supposed to be the torch carrier, to be the next 2-way player like Travis Hunter. Now, DEION did announce that, hey, you just straight wide receiver, big dog. That's how it is. And I think that only bolsters their wide receiver room. And let's see what back in September 3rd. This is September 3rd. This is what DEION was saying about Drelon Miller back then.
I don't think it's a priority. I think it's how the game is laid out. Like, we kind of play the game before we play the game. So when you're game planning plays and you go to an empty package, because Drelon is just like a running back as well. You got to understand. So the opposing team may not change personnel because he's just like a running back, and that gives you an advantage if you're in man and they motion him out and he's a receiver on a linebacker. That's going to be a problem. So the guy's got to earn it, man. We don't just throw you out there just because you're a freshman. If you earn it, you're going to get opportunities to play.
And I think that everybody thinks that means that Quinton Gibson, and I think that is going to play. And I think that adds to the way Quinton Gibson is playing, because Drelon Miller is someone who is, guess what he's doing during spring break? You guessed it. During his spring break as a second-year guy, putting in work, not just putting in work with future NFL players. And I want to, because we're going to get into some more videos. I think we have another video where, what's his name? I believe Shador talks a little bit about Drelon Miller. I think I have that video. I don't think I have it right here. But you got Shador. Oh, sorry, Isaiah Harge. Sorry. So we do have him talking about Isaiah Harge as well. So when we get in there, but I want to pause, because what I want to talk about is, you're going to see off-season spring break workout videos. Like, it's not a big deal for a player to be working out during spring break. There's still plenty of fun to have, even if you do get your work in. So, I mean, that's the real message to be known there. But I think what's important is, as Colorado grows from a 1-11 team to a 4-8 team to now a 9-4 team with high expectations, right? I think that this is being reflected on by the way that their biggest strength is going about it, right? And I know a big thing that Marshall Faulk has said, even Gunnar White, new offensive line coach, everyone has been talking about, how do we take the running game and how do we make that a positive for Colorado? And I think that's a long way to go, just because hey, that's just changing identities. But you know what isn't a long way to go? Having elite wide receivers. You just had elite wide receivers. You're about to potentially send almost 4 guys, LeJohntay, Jimmy, Travis, if you count him, and Will Shepherd, all to NFL teams. So the standard, like DEION alludes to, the standard is going to be the standard. And the standard at wide receiver for Colorado is pretty high. Now, the standard for running the game, running ball ain't high. Hey, I'm going to let y'all know. You know what I mean? But I think it's very important in the world of complacency, right? Complacency is talked about a lot in my job, and you know, I'm not sure if you guys have bosses or whatever, but one thing I appreciate about my boss is that he always reminds, you know, nobody's perfect, but he reminds complacency. That's what he hates. He hates the most, and I admire that, because complacency is just saying, oh yeah, we're good. We've gotten far enough. It is what it is. Why though? What is far enough? What is this hole that you're crawling out of that you can just say, oh, well, we're good to go? Well, instead of just being out a hole, how about you start building something? Instead of just building a little fort, how about you build a skyscraper? Where is your ambition to want to get there? And just optics speaking, right, coming from a loaded wide receiver room that already had high levels of expectations, y'all gonna come in here as a collective, because this is a new transfer guy working with the same young freshman who was by all means known as one of the best receivers in Texas. He's already looking like he's going to get some playing time. They working with the same dude. You got Drelon Miller working with NFL players. And then I find out Mr. Isaiah Harge, because I pronounced his name wrong, is getting in his work too during spring break. And he ain't just doing the work, dog. He hitting them hills. And I know all the athletes that are watching, y'all know what them hills do to you. Them hills can turn a man into a man, a boy into a man, a little lady into a woman. From our lady ballers and or competitors out there. And again, it's just optics. Look, everybody's getting their work in spring break. It is what it is. It's really, you know what I'm saying? It's not earth shattering. These ain't the first group of receivers. But the thing that is important is that, like he said, the standard being the standard. They know the standards. They know what's going to be expected. They know the expectations, the noise that people are going to produce after seeing an elite wide receiver room like that. Y'all ain't got no choice but to be elite. You feel me? And what did, what's his name? Shador? That's his name. What did Shador have to say about Drelon Miller? This is way back. This is before the season even started. This is what he had to say.
It was a good performance. I feel like
that's great, right? It's great. More importantly, to see that there's a level of respect there, right? And a high level at that. And then here, of course, is I believe this is in season. It's just regular in season. I think we watched this. I'm almost sure this is in season. So he's just bringing them over, saying that, hey man, we got another one. This is the next Travis Hunter. Now we know. I'm not gonna let this play because I'll let it play, but I'm not gonna let the audio play because we know he's not the next Travis Hunter because he only playing wide receiver, which I think is the best decision. That wide receiver room right now, before the transfer portal, before anything gets hot on the block, right now is Drelon Miller, like we talked about, Omarion Miller, who's still recovering from injury. We haven't seen him back, so hopefully this week in spring practice, maybe he's out there. We got Terrell Timmons. We got Isaiah Harge, again, now full-time wide receiver. You got Cam Michael, Joseph Williams from Tulsa, the transfer, Quinton Gibson, the first-year guy, Adrian Wilson, and Quanell Farrakhan, another, I believe, true freshman, if I'm not mistaken. And that is another guy who's got some high expectations, but we did a lot longer of a video. He had that big, crazy catch, too, but I wanted to give some of these guys some shine. So where we are right now, let's talk about this little article. We're going to read this that's specific about Quinton Gibson because I do think that he is the crown jewel in this situation. After that, we're going to watch some film on each of the receivers and then, of course, catch up with this, I think, kind of phony ruling from the NCAA. But early enrollee, Quinton Gibson is making the most of his first spring back with the CU Buffs. So Colorado Buffaloes early enrollee receiver maximizing spring break. Wide receiver Quinton Gibson, an early enrollee with Colorado Buffaloes this semester, is taking full advantage of spring break to improve his craft. A video emerged of the four-star prospect working out with a personal trainer during his time away from spring camp. The Colorado Buffaloes' third spring football camp under Coach Deion Sanders is on the pause this week for spring break. Go boys, go crazy. But that hasn't prevented one early enrollee and actually a few other like we've seen. Well, I don't think they're early enrollees, but a few other guys from getting that work in. On Wednesday, Dallas-Fort Worth-based trainer Coach J.O. posted a video of on X of new Colorado wide receiver Quinton Gibson running routes and catching passes during his time away from the Buffs. Gibson displayed excellent footwork and the ability to make one-handed catches on the move. Before the Buffs left for spring break, Sanders shared some advice with his players about navigating spring break. We watched that video. Go watch it. He told them boys stay safe. You know what I'm saying? He said learn how to not fight the fights you need to fight. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Stay safe. Only a few months ago, Gibson put together a historic senior season while leading North Crowley High School to a state championship trophy in Texas Class 6A Division I. The 5'9", 165-pounder standout finished the year with 2,009 receiving yards, 40 total touchdowns, including one as a punt returner. New Colorado special teams coach Michael Pollock recently said Gibson and fellow early enrollee wide receiver Quanell Farrakhan Jr. are candidates to return punts next season. Last we've heard, I think Quentin's doing punt returns, and then Quanell is going to be doing kick returns. I mean, and they can both do kick returns. So they can line up. But anyway, we got the freshman's Q for 6 coming in that we feel can really help us on punt return situations. Pollock said of Gibson, and then we got Farrakhan, who has been working back there as well. They're young pups, but you know what? They want to grow up fast on the punt return situation. Those are two guys that we're definitely looking at early on to see what goes on. Gibson, the 2024 Max Preps National Football Player of the Year, committed to Colorado November before signing the following month. He announced his pledge to Colorado with appearing on Nightcap. Shout out to Unc and Ocho. I bring the ability to flip the field no matter where at, Gibson said on the show. I bring the consistency. If you need a third down conversions, throwing the ball, I hope to fill the shoes of LeJohntay Wester and Jimmy Horn. And as we know, Deion Sanders has already compared Quinton Gibson to both LeJohntay and Jimmy Horn. So I think that's great to see. And here he is. I mean, he's just making.
Oh my God.
He's just doing
Why
stuff,
you think
dog.
stars don't matter, bro?
Because they don't matter. They never did. I'm a 3-star and I'm the best receiver in Texas.
3-star, and he's the best receiver, not just the best receiver in Texas, which is crazy. I mistakenly said 4-star at the beginning, but I guess he's only a 3-star. But that don't make no sense because not only was he the best receiver in Texas, guys, he won the Max Preps Player of the Year. Like, I don't know what I don't know who's counting the stars, but there's a problem. Some people say it's a Deion bias. Let's go a little more to Joseph Williams, the ex-Tulsa guy, and we saw him do what he did at Tulsa, right? We already watched this little clip here. And he just goes up and gets it, right? That's his brand of football. He's the type of guy that really wants to get after. And when we talk about the diversity in these receivers, as you know, this runs, right? Quinton Gibson is going to be an immediate return guy, right? You got Drelon Miller. Oh my goodness, in traffic. Y'all see that back there? Right back there? You got Drelon Miller, who by himself calls himself a bit of a Deebo Samuel, right? That's obviously what they use him as, this running back type guy, right? Running back type body. I know they use Isaiah Harge as a running back too, so he is another multifunctional type player. You got Drelon and Isaiah as that multifunctional place, and then you got Quanell, and then you got Joseph, who are these down the field threats, but not in the same way that Travis Hunter is, but in this jump ball way where it's like, hey, just Will Shepherd type of way. Let me climb the ladder. Let me go up and get it, and let me go make a play. And I think both of them not being afraid of contact, both wanting to make a huge play. Oh, he's on defense too. Look at that. Okay. Okay, yeah. So them wanting to embrace that and get up and get it and go and do that. And here he is on a screen. Oh, wait, he's throwing the screen. Oh, double pass. Them boys going crazy. So, and then of course Isaiah, again, that small guy, that they've got two slot demons, and that's not counting Quinton Gibson. Then you got Quanell, then you got Joseph, then you got like these more prototypical type body receiver types. Like this is scary, and this is only the guys that I saw working during spring break. This ain't everybody, right? This ain't the whole room. There he is taking the top off another one. Again, contested catches seem to be his bread and butter. That seems to be how he likes to get the job done. And y'all know what that boy Drelon Miller do too. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hey man, please don't play, man. Please, you can do whatever you want. Just don't play with that man. Not him. Not the big body, big boy, big daddy. You feel me? But that was dope. That was great to hear that little thing. Last thing, just to end the video, we will talk about is the NCAA denying Colorado and Syracuse request to have a spring break game. They are denying it, apparently, because of review and provide feedback, the legislative relief waiver. The committee reviewed and provided feedback to the NCAA staff on legislative relief waiver request to permit two FBS institutions to engage in a joint contact practice session, a joint non-contact session, and a 1-11-11 during the institution's 2025 practice period. The committee raised concerns: 1, timing of the request, noting most of the institutions have already planned their spring practice periods, and some are at the end or have completed their spring practice period. 2, the competitive and recruiting advantage gained by the applicant institutions of a waiver has approved to allow these institutions to engage in activities no other institutions are permitted to do. And then, of course, 3, the potential academic impact associated with the student athlete missing class time. The biggest one, like the NCAA loves to do, is they tried to blame it on school. Hey, they're going to still be in schools. They're going to be doing finals. This is going to, impact academics. We know that's a load of BS, but that's a sad update here. But that doesn't mean the door is closed for a future thing. Like they alluded to, all the other ones kind of was like, hey, just people are done. We can't allow you to do it, not allow everyone else to do it. So maybe coming next year, Deion Sanders shames the game with spring practice and we stop canceling it. We'll see, man. But like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it, subscribe if you enjoy college football. Out of these wide receivers that we talked about for Colorado, comment down below who's your guy. Is it Quentin? Is it Quanell? Actually, we didn't look at Quanell, but is it Quentin? Is it Joseph Williams? Is it Drelon Miller? Is it Isaiah Harge? I appreciate y'all watching. You know you're great. Keep being great. Subscribe if you enjoy this content, man. We'll see you next time.